Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Madam Whip-Ass Reads. I am beginning to read a book titled Infallible by T.J. Spencer Jacques. So listen up. This book, so I've been told, is or was written for men. I'm going to quickly read the back of the book. Oh, Lord, hold on. I turn on the light a little bit better. Just to give you some insider information pertaining to this story, it's four volumes. This is volume 1. And it says on the back, here's the challenge. If any of you in this room can quit your side bitch and remain faithful to one woman for 1 year, you will earn your share of $2 million. Sounds easy enough, right? Allow me to introduce Jarvis, Bayel, Roster, Timothy, and Telly, 5 men who share one major flaw: an appetite for mistresses. Infallible is about 5 gamers in their late 30s who come together every Thursday night for a John Madden football tournament. This weekly event is hosted and narrated by an older guy they refer to as Uncle Glenn, the 6th member of the Madden night crew. Once Uncle Glenn's wife departs for her regular Thursday night shift, the crew arrives to smoke the most potent weed in New Orleans, roast each other into knee-slapping laughter, and swap strategies of how to cheat and not get caught. Uncle Glenn loves their company, even though he's happily married and faithful to his wife, Diana. Oh, and did I mention the weed? Oh my God, the weed. Infallible is all laughs and giggles until Diana discovers her husband is hanging out with 5 cheating, lying, creeping, baby-making, narcissistic assholes. That's when she tears her husband a new asshole. Uncle Glenn is left with a choice: quit his friends or challenge his friends to be infallible, to commit to one woman. This novel may require a warning label because the pages are abrasive and embedded with conversations that were never intended for female ears. Infallible also details the reactions of the unfortunate women who discover they have sister wives on the other side of town. This novel will make you laugh, piss you off, then make you care. It's not a boring recap of how men cheat. It's a pressure, intense scuba dive into why men cheat. You're invited to take a privileged peek into the lives of professional adulterers, pre-packaged for Hollywood. All right, so before I begin, how about we just set the tone and just get into this groove right about now.
I may be just a foolish dreamer, but I don't care, 'cause I know my happiness is waiting out there. Some I'm searching for that silver lining, horizons that I've never seen. Oh, I'd like to take just a moment and dream my dream. Oh, dream my dream. Whoa, whoa, ooh, I'd like to fly far away from here, where my mind, oh Lord, is fresh and clear, and I'm by the love that I long to see, where everybody can be what they wanna be. Oh, I'd like to greet the sun each morning and walk amongst the stars at night. I'd like to know the taste of honey in my life, in my life. Well, I've shared so many pains, and I played so many games. Oh, but everyone finds the right way, somehow, somewhere, someday. Whoa, soon I'd like to fly far away from here, where my mind can be fresh and clear, and I'll find the love that I long to see. People can be what they wanna be. I wish the world were truly happy, living as one. I wish the word they call freedom someday would come, someday would come. Whoa, soon I'd like to fly far
Hey. All right, so let's get into it. This is chapter 1, and it says Madden Night, Thursday, February 23rd, 2017, 6:10 p.m. Now, maybe I died and came back as a kite, or better yet, satellite. I'm drifting through the air on a floral printed comforter, sailing across New Orleans like meet George Jetson, like an emancipated genie who said, fuck the bottle, waving at my haters like the king of Mardi Gras. All my cares are miles behind, and I couldn't give a shit if a bubbling pond of lava was beneath me, because I'm high in the sky. I've never been this high before, this place where spooky gray curtains whisk across my face like sheets on a clothesline, and cumulus swirls dance around my fingertips like dandelions in an April breeze. Is this my peak altitude? If it is, then let's sail on like the Commodores to a land far away where my worries are as thin as dove feathers and my joy is compressed like bales of cotton. Maybe I'll keep sailing due north until I reach heaven and show up unannounced like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not dressed for heaven. I look like George Clinton's P-Funk. Only the church folk would freak out. I think Jesus would dig it, though. I wonder if he smokes. You think he smokes? Well, if there's no weed in heaven, then God can leave my black ass in New Orleans. I'm straight. Because I like people who like weed. That's why I'm high right now. Oh, shit. You felt that? The room just dipped to the left. Whoa, whoa, I'm tripping, and I like it. I like it. I love it up here. I love this cloud. To form the perfect cloud, the conditions must be just right, meaning there has to be a perfect blend of 3 elements: fellowship, a pound of fresh weed, and the expert who rolls the perfect blunts. I'm so blessed to have all 3 elements. A trifecta in perfect harmony with the cosmos, which means the blow is tight and the vibe is right. Tonight is Thursday night, that special evening each week we dedicate to John Madden football on a PlayStation console and indulging in the best weed north of Columbia. Now, I'm not sure how my little 2-bedroom apartment on the west bank of New Orleans became our tournament site every Thursday night, but it evolved that way over time. It started out with just me and my wife's nephew, who we call Rasta Man, for a reason you probably figured out. We are the founding fathers of this John Madden football tournament. My wife works from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. at West Jeff Hospital. She's one of those labor and delivery nurses. So on Thursdays, as soon as my wife is out the front door, but before she makes it to the first red light, Rasta lights the weed while I power up the PlayStation. Then comes the cloud. A 12-hour overnight shift is a lot of time for a man left to his own devices, and a sufficient amount of time to fumigate the living room. Rasta's real name is Roderick Ross. And when he converted to Rastafarianism 3 years ago, I was happier than a pumpkin, a weave shop. Not because of the religion itself, to each their own, but any religion that promotes the smoking of called the Church of God in Christ, and she didn't appreciate the radical changes. She hated the dreadlocks, and she hated the little nuances like his nappy beard, his puff tam caps and his camouflage clothing for no apparent reason. When Rasta quit the FedEx job he'd held down for 7 years, she divorced him before he made it home. If you haven't guessed by now, Rasta is my connect for the weed, that magical plant grown in God's backyard, and that's what friends are for. Dionne Warwick would agree. What I love the most about Rasta is his weed is not for sale, which keeps me from having to go buy weed on the street and catching a charge from the NOPD in an unmarked car. And before I get too far ahead of myself, please allow me to clarify something. My nephew, Rasta, isn't a dope dealer, nor does he score dope. If Rasta has 20 pounds of weed, we smoke 20 pounds of weed. I don't sell my medication, he always says. All of this is fine with me, but because Rasta has a homegrown grade of weed that's unlike anything I've ever smoked in my life. And I was a teenager in the 70s. Real talk though. The first time I took a hit off a blunt from Rasta, a naked munchkin appeared on my coffee table and started ass clapping for 15 minutes straight. No one else saw the munchkin but me. She had a chocolate complexion, dookie braids, and huge tits. True story. All jokes aside, I love this brother for real. Not just for the unlimited supply of weed. Rasta is a good dude, and despite the failure of his marriage, he's a great father to his 3 boys. The other reason I love Rasta so much is because he's obsessed with Madden football, as I am. Who could ask for anything more, right? Only problem with Rasta is if you beat him too many times, too many games in a row, he gets pissed off and packs up the weed. There was a knock on my front door, and after peeking out the front window, Rasta flicked our guest a bird. It was Telly. Rasta invited him into our group about 2 years ago, and it was Telly who started locking the door to keep Rasta's crybaby ass from leaving. When I first met Telly, I was caught off guard because dude entered my apartment in a 3-piece gray business suit with a purple bow tie. I was like, Rasta, you invited a pastor? Rasta was like, chill, he's not a pastor. This is my lawyer, you heard me? He knows we smoke weed, right? This conversation took place in front of Telly as if he were cellophane. How do you think I pay my legal fees? Rasta asked with a cheeky grin. In blunts, I asked. In pounds, Rasta nodded as he and Telly dapped. Telly recently signed Rasta out of jail on a $9,500 child support warrant that occurred because the court tried to serve him at his mother's address. His mom is notorious for refusing court papers and certified letters. She told the server, Roderick don't live here and I ain't signing shit. The arrears accumulated. In addition to the child support warrant, there was also the possession of the intent to distribute charge Rasta caught 3 months prior. At the end of every Madden night, Telly collects his current legal fees from Rasta, minus the blunts he already smoked that evening. And I always laugh my ass off as Rasta converts the poundage of the weed into currency, then deducts it from his overall bill. Nevertheless, that's Rasta, the most resourceful dude on planet Earth, and, as we've come to know him, the Wizard of Weed. Rasta and Telly have the perfect partnership because Rasta is always fighting a bullshit charge and Telly's always bailing him out and getting continuances on his upcoming court dates. Telly keeps Rasta out of jail and Rasta keeps Telly high. Perfect. The two are old friends from high school and they've been inseparable ever since. Despite being a lawyer, Telly checks his profession at the door when he enters my apartment and simply becomes one of the guys. Telly is tall as fuck. One of those guys who can bump his head on the ceiling fan light if he doesn't duck. He has one of those innocent faces like that singer Brian McKnight. But Rasta told me that in court, Telly's mean as hell. He leads the local bar in contempt of court arrest for challenging judges. But I understand Telly's foul disposition. If I went to school for all those years and my best paying customer was the weed man, I would be pretty pissed off too. The only time Telly smiles and lets loose is when he enters my house. That's when he transforms from an attorney into an annoying fucker we branded as the crowd noise. Yes, that is his real nickname in our group. Crowd noise. How much shit do you have to talk to earn that name? How annoying do you have to be to deserve such a name? Just stick around and you'll see for yourself because it's tournament time. While Rasta continued to roll a mound of quarter-sized blunts, it was time for me to fight my Green Bay Packers against Telly's Atlanta Falcons. As soon as the game started, I threw 2 interceptions. Telly returned both for touchdowns. I was behind 14-0, and there was no way to quiet his heckling ass. Didn't I tell you I was bringing these Falcons to burn down your fucking house? Didn't I tell you that? Huh? He yelled in my ear. This is my motherfucking house, you heard me? I wanted to punch him in his face. But that too was part of his strategy, to aggravate you into making a mistake. Uncle Glenn, your Packers ain't shit. You selling ass cheap tonight. Only $2.99 a pound. Telly raised my living room window. Uncle Glenn selling ass cheap. Selling ass was Telly's way of saying your team did not come to play. He was right, because I was higher than a light bill in July. Beating Telly was the furthest thing from my mind. In the end, I lost the game 35-14 and was subjected to his bullshit for the rest of the tournament. Over the years, I've grown to love Telly, crowd noise, Ned, and I couldn't imagine Thursday nights without him. Just as Rasta and Telly were about to kick off their game, a bum, 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 bum sound came on the front door. With controllers in hand, Rasta and Telly both shot me a look. Get the door. Don't you Negroes see me hopping out of this kitchen? You know who it is. Go get the door. Once on the patio, I forklifted the 1-inch steaks out of the Creole marinating sauce and gently laid each one on the grill. In my peripheral, I watched Rasta disappear down the hall again as he headed to the front door. I live in a 2-story apartment complex off Woodland, near what's known as the Cutoff. The layout of my apartment is such that you enter through the front door, then continue down a short hallway which opens to the living room. The first piece of furniture that greets you in my living room is my 1994 gold-trimmed black lacquer entertainment center with 2 china cabinet like 6-inch flat screen. My wife hates it. But I made up a lie and said that it was the only piece I had left from my grandmother. Inside one of the towers sits the CD player. We keep our wedding pictures in the other. Pressed against the wall across from the entertainment center is a deep blue plush sofa. And cornering it to the right is the matching love seat. On the other side of the love seat is the bar portion of the counter, which gives entrance into the kitchen. Diana and I are the only 2 occupants of our 2-bedroom apartment. I'm the only person who sleeps in that second bedroom on nights when I need a little privacy to watch porn. Yes, I said porn. Not to fantasize about the girls in the videos, but as a way to make sure I keep my fucking skills up to date. When you've been married for as long as I have, the only way to keep your dick updated without cheating is to watch porn. So I watch sex tubes and then try new positions on Diana. Some of them she likes, the rest make her laugh. Good. You didn't hump like that when you were 22. What are you trying to prove? She asked yesterday morning. If you stop with the giggling, I'll show you, I fussed. It was a position I saw in a video on Pornhub where the guy positioned the girl on the corner of the bed, then pushed her forward, face down, ass high. It was then that he started turbo humping her from the back. I even went through the hassle of counting the total number of rapid humps and the length of his intervals. And after I watched the clip, I reviewed my notes and figured this must be the latest thing. So I popped a blue pill and set a goal to get in 200 humps in 2 minutes. Rest for 30 seconds, then follow it up with 200 more. Diana was right. I damn near caught an asthma attack trying to update my dick while she twisted in laughter. Rasta returned to the living room with Jarvis, another member of our Madden Night Brotherhood. Even though he is a teacher and subject to random drug tests, Jarvis smokes just as much weed as the rest of us. In John Madden, his favorite team is the Saints, and he would prefer taking a bath in a tub of piss over losing a game to Telly. And when Telly and Jarvis face off, it marks the only time the room becomes silent. They're college buddies and compete to the death in just about everything in life, including Madden. Fuck those garbage ass Saints, Telly called to Jarvis as he entered the room and embraced the crew. I will drag you tonight until you change teams, Jarvis growled at Telly. What's happening, Uncle Glenn? It's smelling good out there. You know how I get down. I got the steaks laid and the bills paid, I yelled across the room. Make sure you kick Telly's ass. He snuck me and fucked up my high. Nigga did me dirty, dirty, dirty. You know how I get down. Oh, don't worry, Uncle Glenn. I came here with it on my mind tonight. Fuck Telly. Jarvis removed his laptop from his tan leather bag and placed it in his normal place, on the kitchen table nearest to the outlet. Before Jarvis could power up, Telly destroyed Rasta by 3 touchdowns. It was going to be one of those nights. I entered the kitchen to find Rasta moving to the loser seat, which was actually the love seat. Jarvis was up next. Jarvis, you don't want none. Don't you know I'm a grown man, bruh? I'm a master of Madden. It's a video game, but this shit ain't no game. Telly took a long drag off his blunt. I'm hotter than charcoal tonight, nigga. Crowd noise was right, because Jarvis also lost by 3 touchdowns in the first half. That meant he was out for the night and had to cop a spot on the loser seat. Have a seat and watch a grown man. I'm a nappy nut, man. You heard me? Telly let it be known. And that right there was the reason you never wanted to drop a game to Telly. Crowd noise Ned. The humiliation was unbearable. I almost forgot to mention that Jarvis is a writer. On most nights, he sits at the kitchen table with his laptop and stares at us like a crazy dude on the bus. I'm not sure what he's writing, but he says most of the time that he's grading papers, which is bullshit. If you ask me, I think he's documenting our personalities for a book, but he's tight-lipped about it. Jarvis is one of those writers who's always writing, but never has shit for you to read. If he's writing a book about us, then we're the best lab rats he's going to find. There's unlimited drama to write about. That's why he prefers to sit at my kitchen table looking like a broken down Will Smith. He just returned to the kitchen to get his laptop, so I think it's time for me to threaten him again. You can write whatever you want, but if my name appears in that book and it messes up my workers' comp, I will kick your ass, Jarvis. Unc, I'm not writing about you because ain't shit about you interesting enough for a book. All I know is I better not be in that book. And suddenly our conversation was distracted for the fourth time that night. Boom, 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 echoed from down the hall. Jarvis bolted across the room to answer the door as everyone took a blunt break from Maddie. We all knew who it was. We were expecting him. From the kitchen, I heard Jarvis open the door, and then it slammed shut. What the fuck? Rasta yelled. Then came the sound of a hard twist on the deadbolt lock. The person outside banged the door again like the DEA on a drug raid. Boom, 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 boom. Rasta snatched the blunts off the kitchen table and hauled ass to the bathroom. Fearful, it was the police. I yelled to Jarvis. I'm sorry. Fearful it was the police. I yelled to Jarvis, "Who's at the door?" Jarvis moseyed back to the kitchen table. Some dude in a DirecTV shirt. I don't fuck with DirecTV. When it rains, the picture goes out. The room burst into laughter as I hopped down the hall to unlock the door. It was the fifth member of our Man-in-Night Brotherhood. His name was Bael. Quick, somebody go knock on the bathroom door before Ross's scary ass flushes all that good ass weed down the toilet. I panicked. It was Jarvis who invited Bael into the group 2 years ago, and he quickly became one of the brothers. Bael is an installation contractor for DirecTV and Cox Cable, and always joins us at the end of his route. He could play Madden football for 14 hours a day if he didn't have to work. Bael is another one of those dudes who hates to lose and always accuses one of us of using a cheating code on him. He's also one of those brothers who loves to fight over dumb shit, but so too are the rest of the guys, so he fits right in. The guys love Bael because he always has a funny story from his cable route. As soon as he starts the story of the week, Jarvis hauls ass to his laptop like a stenographer on a murder trial. Bael never lets Jarvis down. Pardon me for a second. I have to take a sip. Doing all this reading. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. After greeting his way around the room and cursing out Jarvis for slamming the door in his face, Bael reached for the controller. Why is it so quiet in here? Who died in this motherfucker? Where's Wayne? Bael only listens to one rap artist, and if it isn't Lil Wayne, he doesn't want to hear it. Telly pressed play on Lil Wayne's The Carter album, and everybody yielded the floor to Bael for the latest and greatest episode of the week. Oh, Lord. Let me pause again, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. When she answered the door, Miss Grandma had on a pink pantsuit like Hillary Clinton, Bayel explained as he lit his blunt. I followed her through the house to the television. She needed service. Then I got down to business. About 10 minutes later, Miss Grandma re-entered the room in a leopard print robe that was loosely tied in the front. Get the fuck out of here, B, Telly broke in. Serious shit, Bayel assured him before continuing. In one hand, she had this huge piece of chocolate cake, and in the other, a glass of white milk. Bayel scrolled through the list of teams until he found his Pittsburgh Steelers. So, what happened after she slipped on something sexy for you? Jarvis's nosy ass wanted to know. I said, ma'am, I have found your problem. Looks like your dog may have chewed through your cable line, so I replaced it and plugged everything back in. It's working just fine now. That's when Miss Grandma... What was her real name? Jarvis interrupted. I believe it was Mary Brown or something like that. She was a white lady. What fucking difference does it make? We don't need to know her name, Telly complained. Continue, my nigga, continue. She walked over to me and said, I have something else I need you to plug. Oh, fucking wait. Telly coughed up smoke. And then she asked me if I had a few minutes to spare. And I was like, why? For something sweet? And she handed me the big piece of chocolate cake and a chilled glass of milk. And as I sipped the milk, she opened her robe, full view, matching leopard panties. I was like, damn. From the neck down, she looked 30 years old. That cake was delicious, though. But how was the pussy? I yelled from the kitchen. Bayel appeared startled by my brashness. Uncle Glenn, appalled, he leaped to his feet. How could you ask me a bullshit question like that? Nigga, that woman was old enough to be my grandmother, he frowned. But how was the pussy? Rasta demanded to know. After a short moment of reflection and 6 nods, the pussy wasn't bad. Not bad at all, Bayel confessed. No, Telly yelled. Tell me you didn't fuck that old lady. I was jumping in that pussy like it was my birthday party, and she was a bouncy castle. Bayel dry humped the arm of my love seat. Rasta immediately fell to the floor and started rolling toward the entertainment center, while Jarvis laughed so hard he ran across the living room and continued out the front door. You potty dick fucker, Telly yelled as he wallowed on my sofa. I can't fucking breathe, I heard Jarvis say. Bayel, you fucked somebody's grandmother? I was the only one left standing in the room. We knew how the story would end because at least once a week, Bayel fucked a customer on his route. Sometimes two. I concluded it was his weekly goal to seduce at least one customer. Gasping for air, Jarvis re-entered the house, followed by the 6th and final member of our brotherhood. What the fuck is so funny? Timothy asked. It's another one of Bayel's potty dick cable stories, I replied. Don't tell me you took another pussy payment for free cable TV, Timothy dapped off Bayel. Is pig pork, I asked. Did Ike slap Tina, Rasta asked. Bayel, how much pussy is enough? For real, bruh? Timothy shook his head in pity as he walked over to embrace me. Uncle Glenn, one day that nigga's dick is gonna fall out his pants leg, dry rotted. Lady Diana's gonna be like, what the fuck is this stuck in my brand new vacuum cleaner? A dry, rotten dick. Timothy pointed at Bayel. with his nasty ass. Fuck you, Timothy. Bio paused his game. I bet your fat ass hasn't seen your dick since 2008. Lose some weight and maybe a bitch will offer you some pussy once in a while. Fellas, Bio turned his attention back to the group, raised his glass, and requested his anthem. This meant we all had to stand for the anthem. Ain't no payment like a pussy payment, 'cause a pussy payment don't stop. Ain't no payment like a pussy payment, 'cause a pussy payment don't stop. Jesus Christ, these niggas. I hate that dumbass saying, but it's the cable man's anthem. If Bio rolled up to your home to disconnect your cable for non-payment, a pussy payment got you a 3-week extension. Unless you fucked him again. You heard me? Bio swayed with a Cheshire cat grin. And it wasn't fair to the lonely little ladies on his cable route to have a guy like Bio ring their doorbells, especially considering his God-given attributes. Dude was blessed with a natural S-curl, lightly toasted skin, a square chin, deep blue eyes, a dimpled smile, and pecs that punched through his uniform shirt. And it wasn't just lonely old ladies who couldn't resist him. The majority of his conquests were married women. Like the episode last week, she was the pastor's wife, the wife of the same pastor who baptized Ross's sons. According to Bayel, the married women on his route gave it up faster and more frequently than single women with less PFD. Post-fuck drama. And another thing, motherfucker, Bayel pointed his controller at Timothy. What I do with my dick ain't your business. You better worry about this ass whooping I'm going to put on those Patriots after I quiet this crowd noise. Bayel always had to have the last word. Boy, oh boy. Timothy was invited in over a year ago by Rasta. Timothy and Rasta grew up together, therefore he blended in perfectly with the rest of the crew. For Timothy, our Madden night is more about smoking and conversation than it is about the game. Timothy's nickname is Cheating Ass Cheater because he plays as the New England Patriots. The computer always seems to hand him a victory somehow. It rarely fails. During the day, Timothy is a freelance photographer in high demand for weddings. Every week he shares stories of photo shoots with a supermodel type cutie. The story is always the same. The girl was so sexy, it was such a struggle to stay focused. Tonight was no different. Guys, this girl today was stunning. She wasn't a model, but she came to me for professional photos. The longer the photo shoot went, the sexier she got. Nice, thick ass with Tootsie Roll colored skin, caramel eyes. Oh my God, she was delicious. Timothy hit the blunt hard in her honor. How was the pussy? Bayel wanted to know. Who, me? Nah, pussy payments don't pay no studio bills. Shit, I couldn't have a job like that, Bayel admitted. Sexy bitch come to me for a photo shoot, I'm snapping some dick in her. Turn to the right, snap, snap, dick. Turn to the left, snap, snap, dick. We know, Bayel, we know, I said above the locker room laughter. I'm serious. All of those bad bitches would get it. We know, Bayel, the group said. Timothy is the CeeLo of the group, both in height and in that he's badly built like an egg. What Timothy lacks in height, he makes up for in Hollywood dreams. His goal is to develop a feature film production company, the likes of Lionsgate, and he often breaks off into side conversations with Jarvis, since he loves to write. Over the years, our Madden nights became more than a weekly outing for a group of gamers. Today, this place on Thursday nights is a bonding hub of brothers. As you may have figured out, I'm the oldest of the bunch, which is why all of them call me Uncle Glenn. As I mentioned, Rasta is Diana's nephew. It's not often someone who just crossed 50 has the privilege to hang out with 5 younger brothers unless he's coaching them from the NBA. But this has become my life squad. Before my horrific accident, I worked for Norfolk Southern Railway. Before I needed to take a shit and had to use a porta potty on my site, there I was, sitting on top of that poop bucket, praying none of that dark green water splashed on my ass, and that's when it happened. Byron, my coworker, a 20-something-year-old knucklehead who only got the job because his dad was 3 years past retirement, a guy whose pupils were as wide as nickels, backed a forklift into that porta potty, the one where I was taking that peaceful shit, the one where I was elevated high above that nasty green water. That Byron, that porta potty. It tipped over with me inside. I nearly drowned in 2 weeks of piss and shit. But he didn't stop there. He rolled over my right foot, completely crushing it. And when he finally heard my excruciating cry for help, I was a shitty mess, to say the least. The doctors couldn't save my right foot, and if that weren't bad enough, I have to have monthly tests for the types of diseases common in people who have been exposed to 60 gallons of raw sewage. And of course, it was later discovered that Byron had just taken a hit of heroin minutes before the accident. And of course, I sued for workplace injury and for the fact that Byron wasn't required to take random drug tests because of his father. The good news is, while I'm waiting for my lawsuit to drop, I get paid my full salary every week. Besides being an amputee, life is good. Our weekly laughter was interrupted by the abrasive sound of rubber dragging across the pavement as something came to an abrupt halt. Then came the blaring of a horn that sounded more like a distressed lamb. Then the lamb was silenced by a loud thump. Seconds later, someone banged on my door with the bottom of their fist. I just handed Timothy a plate, so I was nearest to the door. When I opened it, there was a tilted young woman in the doorway, standing with her arms tightly folded. Is Rasta there? I know he is. Well, hello to you too. I couldn't remember her name, but she remembered mine. Sorry, Uncle Glenn, how are you? You have to excuse me. It's just, I'm so pissed right now. Please call Rasta for me. I'll get him for you. And your name is? He knows who the fuck this is, she yelled at me, and that's when I remembered her. It was Shamika. All right. I said I was going to read 2 chapters, but that was the first chapter. And I am at work, and I would read chapter 2. Let me see. It's only a few pages, but I need to go and do something. So maybe I'll play a song. Yeah. Hold on a bit. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Guess you've heard of my reputation. Had my share of fooling around. But everybody needs stimulation. And mine just happens to be all over town. It's an easy money occupation. First class psychiatry. But just once, I like to make love without taking off my clothes. And just once, I wanna make love to somebody who really and truly knows. Contrary to rumor, gigolos get lonely too. All my lovers need stimulation. Honey, babe, I think that I need you. Maybe you're the kind of person that could turn my world around. Won't you give me a little inspiration? Maybe that's what I need to make me settle down. It's an easy money occupation. But honey, one thing I understand, I've got more money than you could imagine in your wildest dreams. But honey, money don't make no happy man. 'Cause contrary to rumor, gigolos get lonely too. My lovers need stimulation. But honey, baby, I think that I need you. Taking off my clothes just once. I wanna love someone who really knows. I got more money than you could ever see, but the money won't make me get all I need. Gigolos get lonely too, yeah. All my lovers need stimulation, yeah. Honey, babe, I think that I need you. Gigolos get
know, that was
State Farm is there. State Farm is
version.
there.
Let's see. Let's listen to the time because I'm not working. I got to do something.
I guess you've heard of my reputation. I've had my share of fooling around, but everybody needs stimulation, and mine just happens to be over town. It's an easy money occupation, first class psychiatry. Well, just once I wanna make love without taking off my clothes. Just once I wanna make love with somebody who really and truly knows. Oh, contrary to rumor, Jane loves getting lonely too. All my lovers need stimulation. Honey, babe, I think that I need you. Maybe you're the kind of person that could turn my world around. Oh, won't you give me a little inspiration? Maybe that's what I need to make me settle down. It's an easy money occupation, but honey, one thing understand, I've got more money than you could imagine in your wildest dreams. But honey, money don't make no happiness. Contrary to rumor, Jiggy loves get lonely too. All my lovers need stimulation. Oh, honey, babe, I think that I need you. Just once I wanna love without taking off my clothes. Just once I wanna love somebody who knows that I got more money than you could ever see. But honey, money won't give me up all of my needs. Jiggy loves get lonely too. All my loves need stimulation. But honey, babe, I think that I need you. Contrary to rumor, Jiggy loves get lonely too. All my lovers need stimulation. But honey, babe, I think that I need you. What's you gonna do, baby? What you gonna do? Hey, hey. What you gonna do, baby? What you gonna do? Do you think we could have dinner sometime, baby? Bahama tonight.
All right. Thank you for being patient. You know, I had to do a couple of things. I just played 2 versions of Gigolos Get Lonely too. Of course, Prince wrote the song. He recorded a version. It's the first version we heard. And of course, the one by the time. Great song. All right, so we're headed into chapter 2. Man at Night, 8:30 p.m. Her words were preheated like the steam above a pumpkin spice latte. Her crayon brown skin was tight, and her feline hazel eyes gleamed in the wintry night. That little ravine between her pencil-tip eyebrows guided me to a waterfall of licorice hair, which cascaded down the center of her back, damn near to her ass from what I could tell. Shamika was thick and sexy. Her praline leather pants made her legs appear moist. My mouth watered like I was a kid in a candy store. She was gorgeous. She was delicious. And believe me, I tried to look away. Every muscle of my neck strained to turn my head, but I made the mistake of looking down instead. That embossed triangle. That purring fat cat, that camel toe. It was a girl from the porn video last night. I'm tripping. It wasn't. But Shamika was just as fine. Stop looking at a pussy print, I heard a voice say. You're married. But it was just a peek. It's not like I touched her or anything like that. After all, that's Rasta's girl. That's how it starts, the voice said. Stop peeking. All right. Even from a distance, when you're married, you can't appreciate a fine woman. But you already have a fine woman. Okay, geez, I said to the voice in my head, and then I hopped down the hall to Rasta. I entered the living room to find Jarvis's nosy ass look-a-hooing out the window with Timothy next to him. I have to read that again. I entered the living room to find Jarvis's nosy ass look-a-hooing out the window with Timothy next to him. Rasta, Jennifer Hudson is at the door, I announced. Who? Telly asked. It's Shamika, I said, and she's here to kick your ass. I'm not for this tonight, Rasta huffed as he moseyed to the door. Should we pause the game and pray for you, Telly joked. Rasta ignored him with a wave. She aggravates me to no end. Don't be out there with all that bullshit in front of my door, I said. We're good Christian folk around here. Rasta dismissed me with another flimsy wave. No sooner did Rasta greet her at the door than Shamika lit into him. Who in the fuck is Ladacia? Her voice boomed through the hall. Who? He played dumb. Ladacia. Who in the fuck is she? Shamika, let's have a seat in my truck and talk this over. Talk my ass. Chill, please, Rasta tried to calm her. Lower your voice before you cause a scene in front of the neighbors. Fuck these neighbors. Who is Ladacia? Shamika stabbed Rasta in the chest with a stiff finger. Down the hall to my left. Jarvis hopscotched in front of the window as the mess and drama unfolded while Timothy reached for his cell phone. If she starts kicking his ass, I'm recording all of it. Rasta reached for her arm and tried to escort her to his truck. Shamika snatched her arm from his grip. A woman was in my shop today, and your name came up. Apparently, you're dating her daughter. Dating her daughter? You heard me, her daughter. No way was she referring to me. There has to be a misunderstanding. Oh, boy. I tell you. Always some bullshit. It wasn't a misunderstanding. Rasta knew it, and now Shamika knew it. She just discovered that Rasta had another woman, and that she was what I call an accidental mistress, an unbeknownst sister wife, or in some parts of the hood, a deceived side chick. The only problem was that Rasta hadn't informed her that she was the mistress. His main girl is Ladacia. They're not married because he has this little issue with child support. Ladacia doesn't want to be on the hook for his payments, and Rasta's ex-wife is the kind of woman who would serve her with a court summons if she could, to collect $28 extra a month. Is that possible? Y'all tell me. Let's suppose you marry someone who got kids and they owe child support. Whatever. Y'all get married. Will your check and stuff be garnished too to pay for child support? I think that happens in some states. I think so. I think it's possible. I think it was like that in New York, probably still is, that, you could be married, and if your husband has kids, especially a baby while you're married, but even kids before you were married, that if he's taking to court for child support, they'll garnish your income too for a baby you didn't make. And see, that's another reason why I ain't married. Because I'm not trying to deal with nobody's other, their bullshit. You want to see a pissed off bitch? Let me be married and my husband is sued for child support and my shit starts getting taxed and garnished. There's also the issue of Ladacia's mother, who is serving her 5th term in Congress. Her mother took one look at Rasta and was instantly opposed to him. Ladacia is being prepped for a House seat in the Louisiana legislature, and the last thing her mother wants is for Rasta's lifestyle to fall in the hands of a political opponent. Back to Shamika. She runs a nail shop out of her house on Governor Nichols, and she co-signed for Rasta's truck, the same truck he uses to haul his African-themed wood products to the flea markets every day. Y'all, she co-signed for his truck. Let me tell you something. My mother taught us from when we were like 2 years old. When she knew that we can comprehend shit, I'm telling you, we were little kids. She would sit us around the table and teach us how to be financially savvy. And rule number 1 is that you don't co-sign for nobody. She would say, if I ever ask you to co-sign for me, don't you do it. You don't co-sign for nobody. That was lesson number 1 in financial savviness from my mother. I wish somebody would ask me to. Not only would I laugh, I'd cuss them out for even asking. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, When Rasta shared his dream of owning his own woodworking warehouse where he could also mass produce his cabinets and countertops, Shamika conducted the research and typed up his business plan. She was all in for him, and now she's all out here ready to kick his ass. Bayel and Telly paused their game to listen to the argument, while Jarvis and Timothy bent my Venetian blinds. I watched as Bayel walked over to the window and squeezed in to the left of Jarvis. Telly hovered and demanded the play-by-play. As for me, it wasn't that I didn't want to partake in the drama, but I had steaks on the grill out back, which were far more important than Rasta and Shamika. I hopped my crippled ass to the back of the house as quickly as I could and rebasted my steaks, then hurried back to the front to see if Rasta had managed to get Shamika to calm down. Not even close. You don't have to take that shit, Rasta, Timothy yelled through the closed window. Don't let her handle you like that, Rasta man. Crowd noise bucked him up. See, that's why I don't fuck with BBWs. I don't have these problems, Bayel offered. Uh-oh, she popped the trunk. Uh-oh, there goes his clothes all over the street. Oh, my, Jarvis laughed. I hopped to the front door because all four guys were jousting for position in the window. That's when I saw Rasta collecting his clothes off the pavement. Several neighbors who I've only interacted with in passing seemed thrilled by the spectacle. Some reclined on their balconies. And when she wasn't tossing his clothes everywhere, Shamika punched and slapped Rasta. But he's a lover, not a fighter. I cracked the door just a little more to hear the argument. Shamika, why you acting like this? Look at all the people watching you make a scene. He tried to reason with her. Fuck those people. You weren't worried about what people might think when you started fucking with LaDacia. Did you give a fuck then? Her entire body rolled with her neck. Huh? Did you give a fuck? You know, I'm up here rolling my body with my neck as I'm reading this shit too. Oh boy. Mika, how do you fly off? Oh, excuse me. How do you fly off the handle like this? At least ask me about it first. It was you and you know it. She called you by name. She knew the color of your truck and that you worked in the French market. Motherfucker, it was you. A swing, a duck, and a miss. Then a kick that landed on both nuts. Down went Rasta. She stood over him like Ali. The worst part was I had to bite my tongue while they talked because I had a customer in the chair. But I'm not stupid. She was talking about you. Shamika, I don't know a LaDacia. He groaned slowly to his feet. I must look like a stupid hoe to you. Is that it? No, I'm not calling you stupid. I don't know LaDacia. Bullshit. Shamika opened the rear passenger door and threw another bundle of his clothes across the parking lot. Those messy bitches in my nail shop confirmed that you are fucking with a bitch named LaDacia. And if that's where you want to be, if that's who you want to be with, then go be great, nigga. But not in my truck and not in my house. Shamika threw the last of his things on the pavement. All of Rasta's belongings were just about everywhere. Mika, just hear me out. Fuck that. Hand me the keys to my F-150. It was time for me to intervene. So I asked Jarvis to fix Shamika a steak plate and wrap it. I had to ask him twice because he couldn't pull himself away from the window. With the plate in hand, I hopped out to her. How are you, Shamika? Oh, you remember me now? Yes, but your hair was short when I first met you, and you know I'm getting old. Forgetting a bitch must be an airborne disease around here. Shamika, I don't know a LaDacia, Rasta pleaded. So I'm a stupid hoe to you, huh? She placed her cell phone on the hood of her car. Shamika. I jumped back in. She started to remove her earrings. It was escalating. I have some extra steak. Here's one off the grill with some potato salad. I also have sweet tea, Hennessy, Crown, and I'm good. Now, if you would excuse us, this cheating nigga was about to hand me my keys. For the second time, I offered her the plate. Success. The aroma from the sizzling hot steak seeped through the foil and traveled up to her nose. It weakened her. I witnessed the moment her breathing slowed and her eyes made contact with the hot plate. She wanted that steak. I'll take the Hennessy, she said. When I returned to the cup with the cup of Hennessy, Shamika gave me a sideways hug, then whipped her hair at Rasta. Seconds later, she burned rubber out of the parking lot. Rasta was able to keep his truck for now, but his night of bullshit was long from over. It was time to face the fellas. Under the gossiping eyes of my neighbors, I helped Rasta collect his things off the ground. And once inside the house, all 5 of the guys Bayel offered a bag. Man, fuck y'all. Rasta mumbled his way back to the living room. Wyclef Jean, how you let Jennifer Hudson kick your ass like that? Timothy asked. She was just showing off, that's all. Watch when I get over to her place later. It'll be a different story. Her place? Jarvis asked. Dude, I would steer clear of her for a while unless you want more of your shit tossed outside. The roast was on. Serious shit, Rasta. If you need to catch a sofa for a few days so she can't find you, I got you, Timothy offered. Tim, you think you slick? Telly honed in. You trying to gain exclusive rights to the weed. Pretty much every mistress has a code name, the way she's identified within the crew. Shamika is usually just referred to as Shamika, although she can be recognized as Jennifer Hudson as well. Everyone here has a mistress except me. I only have my wife, Diana. The guys call her Lady Diana, and she is more than enough. Next month will make 25 years we've been together, 24 of the happiest years of my life. In Diana, I truly have everything a man could want and need. She only has 2 more years on that job before retirement, and our plan is to take a long train ride across country and have sex all day in a rail car. I can't wait. I know I'm much older than these guys, and I'm not perfect, but I wish they would this one woman thing a try. It's less headache, and in Rasta's case, less humiliation. It was Rasta's turn against Timothy. And in the first quarter, his Buffalo Bills were already down 14-0. If Tim and those cheating Patriots score again, the game is over. And wouldn't you know it, a pick-6 touchdown for the Patriots. Game over. Man, I'm not in it tonight, Ross admitted. Dude, if my drawers were all over the parking lot, I wouldn't be into it either. Now, I'm not trying to tell you how to handle your shit, but she took that too far, Jarvis suggested. Yeah, you're right. I'm about to go check her for handling me like that and showing her ass. Dude, chill right here and let things cool off, or Telly will be bailing your ass out of jail on another charge. I handed Rasta a beer. You can't pour cold water in a hot radiator. Let the damn thing cool off, then crank it, I suggested. Take Tim up on his offer if you think she's going to come around your place and leave the weed with me. I laughed. Around 10 o'clock, it was time to shut it down. I watched as all of them checked in with other women in their lives, getting in the last of their sweet nothings for the evening. The mistresses received the flirtatious phone calls while their wives received the dry text saying, I'm on my way home. That's when I hit them all with a little something to think about. Look at you bunch of man whores. What if you walked in your bedroom tonight and found a dude pulling 12 inches of dick out of your woman? How would you handle it? You nut in it, you own it, Jarvis said. I would stand right there in the doorway and wait until they finish. When he leaves, he better take that bitch with him, Telly said. Both of them motherfuckers dying right there, Bael said. Shot dead in mid-hump. Dude, would you really spend the rest of your life in prison over pussy? Telly asked. Fucking right, motherfucker. Come in my house trying to steal some pussy. I have to kill him for disrespecting me. Then fucking her in my bed. I wish a motherfucker would. I ain't saying I wouldn't kill him, but you can bet on close to death. That's some foul shit on her part, but these women are niggas too, Timothy said. What about you, Rasta? If you walk up on some bullshit in your bed, how would you handle it? Rasta took a long hit off his blunt and passed it to Telly. Shamika's pissed off right now, but she wouldn't go there on me. She's not that type. That's what you think, Rasta. All of them are that type. Bayo powered down the PlayStation. Do you have any idea how many married women I fuck on random? Their husbands thinking it's his pussy while I'm punishing her with this elephant trunk. Trust me when I say it. If the conditions are right, all of them are that type. Rasta, all I'm saying is have a game plan for everything, even a plan to remain calm should you walk in on something tonight, tomorrow, or next month. In my experience, when a woman is that pissed off, some of them give away what I call mad pussy. That's what happened to me. My ex-girlfriend said she was trying to make me feel what she felt when I got busted. I told her, you can't get me back by fucking some dude. Telly had actually caught his ex in his bed fucking a boss. Rasta, just give me your word. You will stay calm no matter what, Telly pleaded. They shook hands. From my kitchen table, Jarvis's messy ass was typing so fast his laptop sounded like microwave popcorn. This was the type of story and drama he loves. How that dude hasn't written a bestseller with just the madness that takes place amongst us is puzzling. Every week it's something new. This week it just happens to be Rasta, but I promise, if you stick around, you will see why we say it goes down on Madden night. See you next Thursday. All right, so that was chapter 1 and 2 of Infallible. And if you got any male friends, even young adult nephews, sons, 18, 19, have them tune in to this book. It's a book that is written for men. But ladies, yeah, we need to pay extra attention as well. Okay? All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And I gotta go. Peace. I'm out.